Here on this channel, we'd like to talk a lot about various different things, especially when it comes to politics. And one of the things, of course, anyone should always pay attention to is when, shall we say, leaders of political parties make speeches. Very often it can set the direction of a party is going to travel in or something that they intend to do. And one of the things that I have seen Keir Starmer make just recently in the Welsh Labour conference over in Llandudno, not too long ago now, he said he wants to bring more devolution, not just to the already devolved governments we have already, but devolve it even more so that local areas, local councils, we've seen how much success areas like Greater Manchester have had having a local mayor like Andy Burnham, the investment that's been able to do, the direction they've been able to do. We've seen it as well in South Yorkshire where we've had our own elected mayor and the stuff that we've been able to do because of that. So overall, I've said before, I'm in favour of devolution, so long as I think it's not just creating an extra layer for extra layers' sake. I think obviously it needs to be given the correct power, well, in order to actually function, not just be an extra layer. And I think devolution, if Starmer is sort of serious about this and wants to give, local people more power, well, I'm all for it. Something I really wished we could see, rather than currently the very, very fractious way we see of these all four different metro mayors, because we've got North Yorkshire, East Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, different mayors. I would like to see a one Yorkshire mayor. Indeed, when it came time at the referendum to vote for this is what we all particularly voted for here in Yorkshire. That's not, unfortunately, what we got because, well, that's what the government decided we were getting. So much for the will of the people when it comes to referendums. Again, a referendum, not a lot of the Brexiteers like to talk about when that issue is brought up. But hey, there you go. So, onwards with today's sort of story then with Keir Starmer and what he had to say, in Wales. But before we do get to that, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, we have our Patreon page, my One of Nation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. We have the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club down below as well. So, let's crack on with this, what Keir Starmer had to say. So, obviously, he was in Llandudno, and he used this speech as what he called the transformative spirit of devolution, to transform Britain, to give the communities and the great nations of this country the powers they need to control their destiny. Yep, I completely agree. We've said this many, many, many times on this channel. We are far, far too centralised and rely far, far, far too much on Westminster. We have seen time and time again the success of what happens when you give local areas, these areas control of their destiny, what they get a greater say in doing. And by the way, this is something the Tories would never do. They are massive fans of very much a centralised government. I mean, you want a clear example. Look at how Germany, who is very much a decentralised government, got on during the pandemic. It did very well compared to our own pandemic situation, which we will probably find out even more about, certainly in the coming months and weeks, as we get to see the COVID inquiry start to kick up into high gear. Because that was a very, very centralised response where we had areas, local authorities with health units saying, we have a pandemic response. We are literally raring and ready to go. But the government would just not give them the green light in able to, kickstart their procedures. Whereas Germany, they had those procedures, they got them started, and they basically went, okay, government, we need this money. Give us the money. And government went, okay, there you go. And we've seen this operate in other European countries very well. Again, Germany, just we've said. France, also very devolved as well. Spain, I believe, is one such example as well. In fact, most European countries are far, far more devolved and give more power to their local, not only towns, cities, but even, areas and principalities, whatever, happen to call that particular area. Like I say, our own success stories, again, the London Metro Mayor, Sadiq Khan, shown very, very clearly how popular he has been. Like I say, voted in now 3 times. Uh, he's clearly doing a good job, despite how much the Tories absolutely hate him. Andy Burnham up in the north in Manchester been doing absolutely fantastic work. Dan Jarvis has been doing fantastic work when he was South Yorkshire's Metro Mayor, setting up even a cooperative, um, you know, what was it? What was it called now? The cooperative. Oh, I can't remember the names now, but it's essentially a unit that helps set up cooperative businesses or businesses to transition into cooperative run businesses, which basically means all the workers in that business then get a share of that business, and it becomes more democratic about how that business operates. I want to point out again, you do not see that in any Tory would never recommend that in a month of Sunday. So once again, yet another point I want to bring up and go when people go, "Oh, they're just Tory light." Yeah, I think these people do not know the first thing what they're talking about when it comes to the current Labour Party, let alone even current Labour Party policy. But hey, there you go. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.